So we've got ourselves set up with the code editor and we're all happy with that. The next thing that we need to do, if we refer back to our previous step, is to actually get up and running with this backend. So how do we do that, and how is that going to work with us writing code in our code editor on our own computer? Well, the solution is something called a local host. And that is essentially mimicking what would happen on a live server. So rather than actually writing our code files and directly putting them onto a server, we instead write them all on our own computer, and we run our own computer just like it would be a server. And it lets us break things, and we can test out and write new features and add content, and it's not visible to the outside world. That's all contained just on our own computer. So this is the process you'll go through as a developer, pretty much doing any kind of web work, is that you will develop it locally, and then when you're happy with it, you'll put it live onto the web. So with SuperHigh, we have lots of different parts to that. We have a backend, and when I'm working on it, or when Rick or Ryan's working on it, we have our own local versions, and then we make the changes and updates and new features, and then we push those live to the web. And then that's when you actually see the updates on the URLs that you visit for SuperHigh. So how do we get set up with WordPress so that we can run it on our own computers? Well, to do that, we're going to install something called MAMP. Now, MAMP is a tool that is free to download. They've also got a pro version, but we're just going to use the free one because the pro one doesn't actually give us any features that we need. We get enough just with the free one. So if you download that, it works on both Mac and Windows. Asks you to follow them on Twitter. I'll follow them another time. Wait for that download to finish. It's quite a large one. It's about 323 megabytes. Oh, no, actually it's exactly 323 megabytes. And give it 5 seconds. Perfect. So we get an installer file with that. You want to go through the process and install. So this will take a little bit of time to do its thing. So it writes some files, configures a few things. But the good thing about MAMP is it takes out so much of the manual work that would otherwise be a lot to worry about. Which is, I've always used it when building WordPress sites for clients in the past. It makes the whole process just really, really easy and painless. So I think the less things I have to worry about, the more time I can spend just writing code and thinking about the good stuff. Cool, so that was successful. Don't want to move to trash. Yep. Okay, so what that has done is it's installed a folder called MAMP to my applications. If you're on Windows, that will be slightly different. We want to open up this mamp.app, and it will give us this box here. So that other dialog box about cloud functions is just an upsell thing that we don't need to worry about, so you can just close that. What we'll do in our next video is to download WordPress. We're going to get ourselves set up with an install of WordPress and step through how that works.